I will be very upset if Pi should be listed on Binance, and here is why. I've been seeing this particular image you're seeing here on my screen flying around. I don't really know who designed the image, but I believe that the person has good intention for Pi. That's why the person went ahead to design this. I know that this image is not true because Pi is not listing on Binance. There's nothing, there's no announcement or such. And personally, I will be very angry if Pi should list on Binance. Here's why. Pi on its own already has its value. So Pi listing on Binance will make people to believe that the value of Pi is dependent on exchange. The value of Pi is not dependent on exchange, but is dependent on pioneers. And pioneers have already agreed that the price of Pi or the value of Pi should be worth 314,159 for one Pi. And this will be affected in the ecosystem where you can use your one Pi or your Pi to buy and sell goods. Now, listing on exchange will not make the value of Pi to be equal to what Pioneer wants. A lot of people that are wishing that Pi should be listed on Binance, they are wishing that because they believe that once Pi is listed on Binance, it will experience a huge trading volume, which will also increase its value. It is true, after all, that's what happens to other coins, but in this case, Pi value has already been agreed on. So even if it should be listed on Binance, it won't skyrocket the price of Pi to what Pioneer wants. And that's why I personally won't be happy if Pi should be listed on Binance. Why? Because it's like giving contradicting what pioneers have already agreed on, and it's also making people to believe that it is the exchange that will give Pi its value. No, Pi value has already been agreed upon. When it has to do with Pi, exchange is not the overall. Traders are not the ones to decide on the value of Pi. Rather, it is pioneers that will decide the value of Pi. Once you understand this, you will not wish that Pi should be listed on Binance. We did not list the Pi coin for it to increase in value because we have already agreed on its value. Rather, we just needed to obey cryptocurrency rule. We are not trying to get Pi's value from exchange. Rather, we have already given it its value. Pioneers have already agreed on Pi's value. So don't make the mistake of wishing that Pi should be listed on more exchanges in order for its value to be increased because we have already agreed on its value. So now we are waiting for our ecosystem to be ready in order for the price or the value of Pi to be affected so that pioneers can use their Pis to buy and sell goods and services based on the value that we have all agreed on. I will be very angry if Pi should be listed on Binance because it will, one, make a lot of people to think that the value of Pi is dependent on exchange. Secondly, it's going to contradict what we pioneers have already agreed on, that one Pi should be equivalent to $314,159. Pi does not really need any value from exchange because traders won't understand the whole concept. Traders are only trading a coin as it goes up and comes down. They're just trading to make their profits. They can't really tell the value of something. It is the pioneers that will agree on the value of a particular coin. Then later, if they so wish to trade based on the value that pioneers have agreed on in their ecosystem, then they can go ahead to trade from 314,159. So that's how it works, guys. So don't be confused by this particular image that is flying around the internet. Most of the people designing this thing, they don't really understand Pi's vision. Take care of yourself, guys, and until you hear from me again, make your life an exciting adventure. Bye.